Hello, everybody. Welcome to Monday Night Live. How is everybody doing? We have Antoine in the chat. Welcome to the stream. How is everything going? How are we doing? How did your appointments go? I hope everything was smooth. What is happening with you on your end of things? Alrighty, just waiting for a few people to come on in. Antoine's here, appreciate it. Doing good. What about yourself? I'm doing great. I'm coming off of a really great weekend. I had some good adventures, saw some good shows, went saw some sports, ate some good food. It was an excellent weekend. I had family in town. And then I'm gearing up for another potentially busy weekend with more company. So yeah, it's been a good time. I'm waiting for my treatment of this Thursday. Excellent. Okay, well I hope all of that goes well. Blood test was okay. Love that. Love to hear that. Oh my gosh. I gotta make sure everybody stays in good shape these days. My goodness gracious. Although I was just noticing my shoulders all really tight. Because I've been like knitting and hunched over like a lunatic. So, big news. I finished the tarot art yesterday. The last piece of art is done. It's a lot of emotions. It's a lot of different things. I was like, I'll come back to it. And I'm like, I think I'm done. And that's wild. Wild. So I took the evening yesterday to kind of just absorb it, to just take it in, to make sure that I was all under control. I'm just going to make sure that I am still streaming. And I just took it in and just kind of was like, what the heck is going on? And now we're back to it. There's still lots that has to be done. There's still lots of things that we have to do. Can I not watch my own subscription here? Watch my own live to make sure it's, there we go. I just want to make sure it's working. And just kind of was like, what the heck is going on? Sorry, why can't I mute you? And now we're back to it. Okay, that's really weird. I can't turn it down. That's so silly. Okay, there we go. Sorry guys. Threw off my own groove by not having the eye. How do I do this small screen again? They've goofed everything. I need to see the chat, you lunatic. There we go. Okay, I'll make sure that's still working. Sorry. I threw off my own groove by not be working on the iPad today. So I'm going to pull this bigger. I'm going to make it bigger. There we go. Okay, wonderful. Okay, sorry. So I finished the art. So like I said, lots of emotions. So I just took it in last night, just kind of absorbed it a little bit. I didn't start anything new. I just kind of like let it flow over me. And now there's this supplementary content that has to keep going. So I was initially going to start with doing the box today. However, we cannot start the box if we do not have a title. And now those of you who've been following me on the socials know that I've been waiting. I've been asking everybody to vote and to put in their name and to put in their suggestions. I had 3 to start with, and I opened it up for other suggestions. Luckily, people didn't muddy the waters by opening it up too big. But we were able to come down to it. It was very close for a long period of time. Everybody was back and forth. I'm like, oh, it's going to be the gates. Oh, no, now it's going to be, there's Midnight Gates, Midnight Arcana, and Midnight, where's our title here? Boop, 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 boop. And Midnight Wonders. But it was very close for a long period of time. But then very quickly, at the last second, Midnight Arcana tore away and just changed everything. So Midnight Arcana is our title for our deck. I appreciate everybody who voted. I did promise that we were going to be put into a draw for a discount on the card when I do a pre-order. That is still to come. I haven't done that vote yet. I just did the vote count for this right now. So I didn't want to overshadow or have you guys watch me build a test run or anything in this, one of those decision wheels. But for right now, we are going to be moving forward with this title, and I will announce the winner later. RB's in the chat. Welcome to the stream, good sir. How are things? Are we still traveling? What are we doing? So I want to kind of stick. I'm still very happy with the branding that we have established. Back home now. Okay, that is fun. Did you have an excellent time on your trip? Like I said, I'm stoked with the branding that we had initially. So I'm going to keep going with it. Like, I'm floored with how many things I didn't get bored with while working on this. And so I'm glad that this kind of stuck together. So we're going to add a stroke. We're going to put it to the outside so it doesn't mess with things. You did have fun. I love it. You sound surprised. Yeah, I actually did. You sound surprised that you had fun. Oh, nope. Don't do that. Don't do anything silly. Now, what I think I might do here is me and my mouse are having a fight. Okay, so all I did there, better than I hoped for. Oh, excellent. I love that. So what I've done, I just did all that really, really fast. So sorry. We have live text over here. But what I'm going to be doing right now is I'm going to be trying to make kind of a brand title for our deck today. So when I'm doing that, I like to have the live text here so that if I transform it into Oblivion and I don't know what it looks like or I don't know what I want to do, then I will have these back here for me to as a backup. But I like to work in an outline mode for text so I can increase it and decrease it and not worry about, like, I can just kind of play around with the shapes and the spaces and everything else around it through outlines. But as you can see for the script, because even though it's looks like a loopy letter, they are individual letters. So what I did is I selected that word and I did my Pathfinder Unite. And so now you can see those little spaces, those little lines that were overlapping, they're all gone. So now this is one big group, but also shapes. So I'm going to work with that right now. We can clean up any little things because I saw there's a couple little, oh, not too bad. A couple little tiny jogs where the joins are. I can clean those up later, but I don't want to bother with that right now in case we somehow are like overlapping that section or like from this distance you can't really tell. So I'm not going to worry about that too much. Now, what I also want to do is I want to create a bit of a background that is black that we can play with, which makes my black stroke redundant. So what we're going to do is I'm going to put like a mid-gray here. Oh, please hold. I'm just going to go let the Discord know that I'm here. So if I do, be right back. Okay, I am back. I just keep forgetting to tell the Discord. They're not going to know I'm here. Okay. So I just want a little bit of a background here just to see how it plays out. No, I clicked this now. Like I said, my mouse and I are having a fight. Actually, you know what? I'm not going to do this just yet. We're going to... Before I get too wrapped up into colors and to balances and stuff, I want to get something that's nice and solid in black and white, because then I can do colors too, because I don't want to be leaning too hard on the colors. I want to be sure that I am getting a concept that I really like, and then we can play with colors, because it's highly likely that these will be used across different media, whether I get into like coloring books and all that kind of stuff, and I don't want this to have to rely on colors. I want them to work together. So Shift Command O is how you get the outline, or you can do Object. You can do Expand if you have strokes, etc. on it. If I do Object, how did I do this? This is what happens when you type create outlines, almost for sure. Create outlines, it's right here. So Expand would do the similar thing. You could factor in strokes and different colors and all that kind of fun stuff. But for font, when you create the outlines, you'll want to make sure that, that you have that on. So this is what I was talking about last week when I was talking about printing and such. It's really important to have your text outlined when you're ready to submit it to the printer, because there's a chance that they won't have the font you have, and it will default to something like an Arial or a Helvetica or a something else. So, and it won't necessarily be like this, or it'll be when you're working with script fonts like this. They can be really dramatic in how much space they take up, or how much space is in between the loops, or how tight they are. So it could substitute for another script font and make it like a ginormous mess for you. So definitely outline whatever you're trying to do before you send it to your printer, so you can avoid that kind of mess. Because most of the printers I've worked with in the past have been neat, and they've been helpful in that they will let me know if something looks weird, or if their software has prompted them to be like, hey, you don't have this font. But some are not. Some are not good like that, and they'll just be like, oh, no, that's what you gave us. Now, I'm kind of loving a little bit that our A looks like a tent, and I'm seeing a little bit in our M. There's the shape that's very similar there. So this is the kind of stuff I'm wanting to play with right now. What I think I'll do, and see, this is what I mean about transforming it into Oblivion. That's not what I wanted. I played around with the size of that, and rather than having to rescale and find out how I did that, we're just going to try and have them matching for a minute. Just see what the heck we come up with. I really just like to play around and see with what kind of outlines we have, what kind of... Okay, what is the point? Oh, no. And see what kind of overlaps and what happy coincidences and all that kind of fun madness we're going to find here. Now, we're absolutely not going to have them be like that, but I'm just wondering if there's a way to leverage the different shapes we have on hand here. Like this is something that when I was in school, one of our professors said you would sketch this out all day long. Sketch, all of this, all these different ideas. But I find these kind of happy accidents and interactions are a lot easier digitally, for me anyway, because you can find these little things by accident and you can scale and make sure that you know how the font itself works. Because when you're drawing it by hand, unless you're really good at fonts, which I am not, you're going to have to not be taking into account the right kind of negative space and all that kind of fun madness. So I like to play with this in Illustrator and just see what we have working for us. I also want to grab this guy. Now, I can't recall if these are all, they are not all shapes. Pickles. Can I just make this like this? No, I can't. Damn. Okay. Never mind then. I'm just going to have it in black on the space. I'm just playing around in one of the Major Arcana color space here, because I want to make sure that I'm using elements of the deck. What font is this? The same one! Past Aaron. Freaking killing it. Okay, so we'll do this. I think there's something we can play with here of having the... And this is where like the file can get really messy. But that's okay. What are the odds that is not the right shape? Okay. So what if I did... No, I didn't want to do that. I want to do this, and I want to do Object Ungroup. So I was getting my other software links all messed up in my head here. I want to play around with this A here. What I want to do is, it's not going to divide. So let's do this. Not our most elegant approach here. All I'm doing is playing with these shapes because I think there's an element that we can play with here. And all I'm doing, I have the pen tool here and I'm subtracting out our pixels. There's lots of ways you can do this. You can just delete out your pixels and do a join if you want. I'm just kind of hoping that just some of these subtractions can kind of help me get there a little quicker. All these points were created when I did the outline. They wouldn't be here if I was just using live font, but I also couldn't play like this if I was using live font. So all I'm doing is subtracting out the points for now. Like I said, lots of ways you can do this, but right now this is the gotcha. And all it's telling me is that I just didn't click on a point to remove. So it's like, hey bro, what the heck you doing? Then I'm gonna direct select, pull our arms away here so that it doesn't have those weird little bubbly things. I have a pixel up here that I need to get rid of. I thought that was a point, but it is not our most elegant way to do this, but we will I just kind of want it to be a similar shape to the line that's already on the A so that we can play around with it a bit, because I think we can make this, ooh, there's something ugly in there. There's an arm in there that should not be. What are you? We'll delete those ones, okay. Now this is like the playing part where I'm playing about. So when I get to a design I like, I'll make this cleaner and kind of and neater and less vector points and all that kind of fun stuff. But I don't want to do all of that and then be like, I already hate this. Why would I do this to myself? No, thank you. No, I don't want to join it. I want to... So what's everybody up to this evening? What are we doing other than watching a crazy experimental live stream? I have been prepping for the shop that I am going into this weekend. I've had lots of company come to visit. I have some potentially coming this weekend. It's been a busy time around here. Not gonna lie. August, she full. But that's okay. It's summertime. We're here for fun. There we go. Again, really crude, really ugly, but we're gonna, if we like it, I will make it less ugly. What I want to do, I kind of just want it to look more, ooh, that's not great. I just want it to kind of look a little bit more like a tent. We're getting a little Eiffel Tower here, which is, well, awesome. Not what we're looking for. Can we group these? Penny's in the chat. Welcome to the stream. How are things going? I was just asking everybody how their evening was going. We have a title for our tarot deck and we are playing some fun font games. I feel like Midnight cannot be this. It can't be this one. It just can't. I don't think that's right. It has to be magical. It has to be. Hey, excuse me. So, shoo. Yeah, all that messing around with the pixels, and I don't think we got very far. I'm not hating that one, but I just feel like we're not, like, this, what we have selected, I like it, but I don't feel like we're leveraging what we could be. What if we did? Oof, I don't think Arcana should be the bigger word though. Like Midnight should be bigger. If you double click a group, you can kind of enter that group without ungrouping and regrouping all your stuff. It just kind of focuses your Illustrator a little bit. I just need a color. I need a... Where did our thing go? No, not white. Yeah, that's what I wanted. I love isolation mode. That's what I was looking for. Thank you, Penny. I was like, focus, isolation mode. That's what I was trying to describe. So that is really great because if you're working in lots of groups, it's a great way to manipulate those and work inside of them without ungrouping everything. And like, it was something like this, not a huge deal, but when you're working with lots of different things, it can be hard to select everything that you need, and working within those groups is key. It kind of looks like a tent, but we're really looking like the Eiffel Tower. And again, not a problem, just not what we're going for here. Yes, agreed. Hate uncoupling and regrouping. Not my favorite thing, because inevitably you will either grab or not grab something key and then ultimately make a mess, which is no good. It's endless, exactly. And it takes up so much time, because especially the reselecting. No fun. Okay, I'm not upset with this, but I think also this font should be in here somewhere, so I'm gonna kind of like play with this guy. This is where my files get crazy. I will just copy and paste until we get where we need to go. Use group selection tool and play with an item within the group. Group selection tool. How is that different from the direct select tool? Oh, it's not picking up points. Interesting. Elisandra's in the chat. Welcome to the stream. Okay, I see. So it's grouping. Oh, that's interesting. Interesting. Okay, so the group select tool also works really cool. So you can still move that, and then when you select it, it'll stay a group. So when you go to move it with your regular situation, you're under control. Very cool. I like it. I like this because it's the first thing I came up with, and I don't want to be that person. Okay, so we zoom in. I'm just going to bring this down so there's no white. Instead, it just moved that way because that's how I have my units set. And then I want, on my Illustrator, you can do any increments or anything that you'd like. Mine are set to whatever they're set to. I don't usually have a solid preference. It depends on the project. And right now, this project is experimentation. So when I put a stroke on a font like this, though, I try and have align the stroke to the outside, so that you could. Oh yeah, I want to expand this. Just so it doesn't mess with the font itself. Nerd alert. I don't do this, but font designers work really hard on their stuff. Please respect the fonts. Designing fonts is no joke. It's a lot of work. And so, like, putting something on the inside, you're messing with all the balance and everything that they wanted to do. Same with just on the middle. So I always go to the outside. It gives the pop that I want, but it's less interference on the font. Like it might mess with some of the spacing in between, but the actual font itself will work like it's supposed to. I think the 0.5 is too much. So we're going to go back down to tiny. I just want it to be a subtle hint of this. Okay, I'm going to group these. Command G is your group. Command Shift G is your ungroup. So they become natural, but like we said, we don't really want to mess around with them too much if we don't have to. I'm not seeing a lot of like... What if we... Okay. I'm not seeing a lot of the intersections that we're seeing with like the Midnight Arcana when they're both in script, but I have an idea that I want to experiment with first. Because I lay things out like this all the time, like you notice my logo's kind of like this. And I want to make sure I'm trying a lot of weird stuff before I get too stuck on just the first idea I have. It has to be easy to read. It has to be... It's like a logo, basically. So I want to make sure that it plays the game. I'm just looking for alignments that might click in. They don't really, eh? Like, that's not easy to read at all. Like, I could make it transparent. I don't know. So I'm just going to mess around with this for a little bit, and then we'll move on to something else, because this could take me forever, or we'll just find something that I like, and then it will stop taking forever. Okay, so I'm going to give this a similar treatment as I did the other one. Have this be like this. So I just did the eyedropper tool, and what that did was that factored in all the strokes, all the fills, the treatments, all kind of everything I had on that font before, so I don't have to piece it all together. It didn't just pick the fill or just pick the stroke or anything like that. It picked everything, making my life a lot easier. I see, that's really pretty. I like that. But it doesn't really look like a logo. Okay. So again, this is something I could mess around with for a long time. Okay, let's do this. What is happening? How come none of this is picking? I want this one. I want it to be grouped. And I want that one, and I want it to be grouped. No, they're the same size, which I don't love. Arcana of all of them should be smaller. Now I think I have my strokes on scale. I absolutely do. So one thing that you can do, depending on what you're working on, You can set your Illustrator to have your strokes to scale as you're making things bigger and smaller, which is what happened here. So I'll show you. You can see that the outline on the A is thinner than the one on, oh, you can't really though. So it's thinner here than it is over here. That's because I have my everything scaled, so that when you make things bigger and smaller, it maintains the stroke, which I want for the tarot deck, because I'm building it at a bigger size and then scaling it down. So I don't want a big fat stroke on it. I want it to be something that that's going to create another letter. I want it to be something that so I want it to scale down uniformly so that it appears the same when you get down to the bit. So I'm not going to change my settings. You can change your Illustrator to default one way or the other. I'm not going to change them right now because I'm still building the deck. I don't need at this point. With 7 cards left to build, like to finalize, I don't want to make a mess. But so all I did was just reapply the 0.25 stroke there. Not too obsessed with this. We're probably going to have to, we're going to do a combination like this. But this is a little bit chaotic. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch over to this guy. And we are going to start the box, because then at least I might have an idea of what kind of space I have to work with. Maybe the logo needs to be more square. Maybe it needs to be longer. Not really sure. Why is the train this high? Oh, probably from last week. So getting started with a box might help me there, because this logo is going to go on the box. It's going to go on the books. It's going to be part of the branding for the rest of the deck and the sales for it. So I want to make sure it works in different elements. But watching me fiddle with fonts is not why I think you're all here. I might play around with it and express a little bit. But for right now, I'm just trying to figure out where I want to save this. Admin, box. I'll do an EPS file for now. And for this one, so this one, there's a few different instructions on here that we have to make sure we keep in mind. So it says, important note, please do not move the position of the box template to ensure your artwork will be printed properly. So this isn't quite like the tarot one where it was like, okay, just put your art in this box, it'll be fine. If I were to move all this over here, it won't cut properly and it won't sit where I need it to sit. So I have to be a little more careful with this one here. As your design on this one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move, because we're going to turn this layer off at some point. I want the design below here so I can keep these guys in mind. So this will be black at a certain point. So what we want is so that this layer turns off and on, so that when we're finished, the whole design will just sit here. And as long as I have everything within the layout that they have here, they have a bleed factor here as well. So the box can be fully black. And they have all these kinds of instructions here. Then I can turn that layer off and then they will just print this magic here. Also, make sure you're downloading the proper template from this company in particular. The actual deck size, so this 28 millimeters, this is for the 78 card deck. If I wanted a 50 card deck or a 52 card deck or a 5 card deck, there's different sizes here. So definitely make sure you're downloading the proper size for what you want, the right orientation, all that kind of fun stuff, because you don't want to make a mess. Okay, I need the world card is what I need. I'm I need the art for the world card, and that is this guy. Yes. Because the second I drew this, I knew she had to be... Come on. Front or back of the box. Now I don't know what this is. Oh, that's where it folds back. So when you open a deck of cards, and sometimes it folds back so you can pull the cards out. So there'll be a fold here that I do have to keep in mind that it's there. And then I want this guy. Just come here. Because this pattern has been here the whole time. So this part won't be cut. So if I really wanted to, I could go right to the edge with this. If I want to, right to that black line. The risk there is that if there's a little bit of a shift, that the design will land right on a folds. So not really the aesthetic I'm currently looking for. So this guy would be all black. Oh, pickles. These guys are on the wrong layer. This is where layers matter. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to lock this so I can't do that. I'm going to turn it off and on. Or turn it off now. Now, what do I have for these guys? I think I want to do this same effect here. That's not what I wanted. Okay, let's just grab the whole card. Oh, I know why that didn't work. Okay, we don't want this, and I don't want this. The font, we take the font. Don't want the art. I don't want this. I want this. Let me pull this down. Oh, what I really should do is get rid of that. What I should really do is have this. Oh my goodness. Oh, Dari's in the chat. Welcome to the stream. How have you been? You were all here the day after I have finalized the last piece of art on the tarot deck. And now we're in administration mode. We are in make the box, get her ready to print mode. Yikes. It's been crazy, but I'm good. Excellent. Good is good. Let's turn this back on. Oh, pickles. Okay, and we'll make this back to... Actually, can I just make it blue first? I really don't like that. Can we make it like almost black? I just need to be able to see the lines. That's really all I have to do. We are happy to have you here on the stream. It won't really matter because it's all black and there's no stroke on it. I just want to make sure that we're seeing what we need to see here. Turn this off. So what I'm thinking we're going to do here, in the top, like that's where our title's probably going to be on the top and on the back. The The bridge is open. The bridge. Good Lord. Did you drive on it yet? You have to cross to drive on it. Did you watch other people drive on it? I'm too far to see. Welcome to the stream, Odari. Oh, you guys are so silly. Can I make... I just want to make all this white without effing it all up. There's a whole bunch of drama about a bridge between Odari and myself. It being between us is not why there's drama. But there's drama. Not yet, but I want to. Excellent. You are welcome up here. I'm just making this white so I can see it. And not keep going back and forth. Figuring out what the heck I'm doing. Because I will eventually be hiding this away. Right side, back, top. Okay, I'm not super worried about... Really? Really? Hey, Dingleberry. I don't care about the left and right side because they're going to be the same. They're, as far as I'm concerned, they're done. Okay, now this is a problem because we need it to be in here and we need this to be in here. I don't think I'm going to lose too much sleep about it maybe not being the same as the... Can I just turn that off? I'm just going to turn it off instead of deleting it in case I need to know that it's there. Now, the back is going to have like a little description of what we're doing. Not on that layer. Oh, fine. Then I'll move it to here. I was just remembering that my other layer was existing there. Oui, les descriptions. Proxy knows what I'm talking about. Antoine knows what's up. Okay, I want no stroke. Which didn't work. Which is fine. Oh, because I have the shadow. That's right. I don't want that. Because it's already black. Okay. Okay, what I'll just do here then. We'll use our little, not the lasso tool. So all of the cards have been illustrated, which is freaking wild right now. I don't know what to do with myself. So I was telling everybody earlier, I just took the night, I finished the last of the art last night. Took the night to take it in, and now we're back to it. I still have to finish writing the books and finish... No stroke, please. Try again. No stroke, please. And now we have to get to the book and this kind of stuff, prepping for print, etc. So I feel like we probably should do something like this over here. And well, and we'll do something like, just trying to find something I like. So yeah, it was a little bit of a wild realization to be all finished the deck. Just madness. I don't know how we got here. So, this would be one where we want to do oh, you ninny. We want to have the stroke and the shadow on this one because it's overlapping that little bit. Oh, curses. So what I will be doing with this, when I have something I sort of like, is I'll print this on a piece of paper and cut it out and fold it like a box to make sure that I like how it looks when we print it. Because depending on how many people order decks, I don't want to order like 100 of these. Even I don't even want to order 10 of these and find out that they don't work. Always do a test print if you have the capability. Turn this off. Oh shit. Look at that, guys. I'm freaking obsessed. So I have a description here, or les descriptions. And we will, explaining the deck, what's going on. We're keeping it simple. You take all this crap away. Oh, look how exciting that is. Look how exciting. I don't know if I like the gray. I'm not sure if that matters right now. Once we get the font in there, I'm sure we'll see something exciting. So yeah. Holy cow. Okay, what else do we have in here? This is the glue piece, so we won't need to worry about that so much because I'm just hiding that part of the group because this will be underneath this guy over here, underneath the other side, so I don't really care what's on there as long as it's the same color. Because again, we want to have that full bleed mark because, like I said last week, once they slice this, I don't want to have any weird white edges or anything that are going to make it look funny. I like to just print this the one time because they go and be expensive. Okay. So, yeah. Okay, so something to play with there. This is giving us an idea of what the box is going to look like. Actually, Illustrator does this now, no? Lorem Ipsum. So, Lorem Ipsum is a bunch of Latin that goes into a font space. Generally, the intent is to just fill a space so you can see what text would look like there instead of just putting like watermelon, watermelon, watermelon in there. And it helps you kind of play around with what kind of things will take up the space. I just want more text in there, so I just redrew it. Again, probably another way to do it And then you can play around with this to see what the text would look like. How big is this? 12 is way too big. But I feel like 7 is not. This is why you do the test print in the end, to make sure everything's legible and that you can read it. And you play around with like your different this and that's. Because we'll probably have something like, I want this to be a little bigger. And this is where you play around, like before, like if you're doing a design or something, and you want to test run something with a person before they have, I don't want to stroke on that, before they have any of their copy yet or anything. It just kind of gives them an idea of what it might look like with text in there and how much they might want. And then we'll do, I'm just going to grab this and put it here, and we're going to eyedropper this style, so I don't have to do all that again. It just gives you an idea of what you're looking at space-wise, so that you don't have to worry So it kind of gives me an idea of how much copy I can put in there without making it look crazy. I'm actually going to use our other guy here, and I'm going to make it bigger. So if we do something like this, like and then we'll have a little description, and then we do, there's too much white space. Yes. So I'll have to write the copy for what goes on the deck. So can I put the, turn this back on for a sec. So I think that this guy is a fold. So you have your deck. I don't have a tuck box here. This will be where it like folds back. So there's going to be a folds right there. So I don't want to put anything critical there. I think it being all black is probably fine. I feel like the title should be on here somewhere. I don't want any of the card there. Where's my guy? Lock that bad boy. Thank you, darling. As long as everything is well and away from the edges, we should be fine. That would mean this should go up like this, maybe like this. I don't want it to be too small. The circus is kind of a big deal. So yeah, we can play with that. But now I have kind of an idea of what kind of space, let's save this, the font, the title is going to take up. So now when I play around a little bit more with this chaos, I'll have kind of a good idea of what we're looking at. So if I did something like this, which I'm not going to, No, just go like this. If she's white, zoom in maybe, right? Oh no, select and pull. And then I can put it into place, different places. Oh no, I'm not really hating that as much as I used to. Curses. You can't really read it though, so it's probably not the way we're gonna go. But then you can see how things are gonna work in situ. I don't think this one, but I didn't think the other one either. That one's hard to read too. Why is there a pixel? Shoo. So different things to play with. Again, not hating this as much. That's why we play with all the things. Okay. What if I did like a black and did like a 75, like a 60? That does a weird thing. Here, right, never mind. So something to play with for sure. But we won't use 3 different logos. That seems excessive. We'd want to make sure that they're all part of a similar approach. Because there is a case for multiple logos. Like I have 3 different Hues and Tones logos, but they apply to different reasons. So we may have something like that here. But I think we'll play around with that another time. I'm going to hit save for right now. And yeah. So we've actually made a killer amount of progress here, short of a logo, which I think we can play with a little bit more later. I think we're on our way. So the next few live streams are going to be really putting this guy together. I haven't done anything more with the file since last week of putting the prints together. Those are a work in progress. Like I said, all the art is done now, so I'm going to be putting all the cards together, making sure they're ready for print. Put this together, make sure I'm ready for print, and then we'll be doing the books. So I suspect we might be back here with this next week, finalizing it, making sure it's ready, or maybe starting the book layouts as well. But for now, this seems like a logical break point, so you guys aren't watching me fiddle with fonts. Yeah, so I'm gonna hit save on this guy, make sure it's ready to go, and I will let you all have your evening. Just a quick, short and sweet tonight. I hope you're all having a great time, a great start to your week. Thank you to everybody who tuned in. Antoine, RB, Odari, Penny, Alessandra, and everybody who kind of lurked in the background. I really appreciate you. I hope you all have an excellent rest of your week, and I will be back here next Monday and be doing the same thing. I hope you all are doing well. Talk to you soon, guys. Thank you so much. I'll see you next week. Bye.